sir. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're ready to proceed. Mr. Usher, can the witness be positioned, please? Welcome back, Mr. Witness.
Thank you.
In the last session,
in
the last session before the break, you told this commission about your name, your age, and you also confirmed where you live as stated on the protective sheet. You've also told the commission some of your work experience and the support you're giving to people living with HIV/AIDS. You've also told the commission about your diagnosis. And just before we went, you were telling the commission about how you openly declared your status. And the fact that you found that necessary so that you can actually sensitize and educate other people living with HIV/AIDS. And also what sort of protective measures can be used. You may now continue to tell the commission your role in Santayala.
Saying is continue. Ila lodula momentinu Santayala foisi o continue ka ofo.
Okay.
Just as I stated earlier on,
2001.
In 2001, I became a leader there. During that time, it was not easy to hold discussions within the association.
Trainer organized the train in terms of public speaking.
We contracted trainers to train us on how to speak in public.
More sensitized about HIV.
In the course of that, we got a budget which enabled us to go out and sensitize people. I can say that during the course of that sensitization, we traversed the entire length and breadth of the Gambia.
So therefore, Mr. Witness, at this point in your life, you were well known in the jurisdiction of living with HIV/AIDS.
Woto inatake moti mo jamaye mellong nying HIV/AIDS kurang nyin la karola.
Safo Gambia belum.
I can say the entire Gambia.
Katu region te Gambia nte mallo damunto kadiamu kaitandi mola ko HIV abikerini.
Because there's no region in the Gambia where I have not stood to sensitize people to tell them that HIV/AIDS is existing.
Adung abente fanolale.
And also that I have it. And the association that I am a part of, those are the people who also have it.
Okay, but
thank you, Mr. Witness. So at this point, if we may move further.
ako inumbara between yintembe mfonsi tenten no
Bismillah.
Can you tell this commission how you first heard about the Presidential Alternative Treatment Program?
yintembe afo commissiono ya moy nyaadi la nintumajma ko banko president o tembo kate kanyi HIV AIDS programme nyin abake kan pour kamulu jara
Ngamoy tembo muna o keta 2007 January leti.
I heard it in January 2007.
Bari kono ya announced television o tele bari mo kalamta.
I heard that it was announced over the television, but I was not aware of it.
For lumu na bejara lo kumasila.
Until the day that he was to start the treatment program.
Because wato Santayala drono mu kafoti Gambia be.
Because at the time, Santayala was the only association in the entire Gambia.
Then Somanda killing nata officer.
It was one morning when I came to the office.
Mr. Witness, before we get to that, in your statement you had mentioned that there was a secret program that had happened sometime in 2006. Is that correct?
Janembe futala je sedo yenyum fonunko kullo programme be keri num membe tamakan 2006 sangokono.
Kullo programme.
A secret program?
Yes, a secret program.
Programme membe tamakan kullo kono.
Okay. Before 2007.
For 2007.
2006.
In 2006.
Barin kay mol moy ka fuku ha president mo forcé pour ka idabula la jara lot.
Because I used to hear people say that the president did not force anyone to partake in the program.
Barin senyi itandi ko nim programu a starta kullo kono kabrin 2006 le.
But I can reveal here that this program started in secret in 2006.
During
that time, there was one day when I came to the office. I found avian bottles, several of them, full with concoctions.
Sorry, Mr. Interpreter. Can you tell the commission about how many bottles you found in the said office of Santayala?
Isa fono commission ye kaba jelle tara wo evian kabolu ye jelle tara Santayala la office kono dum.
Nta nanko mo fono la nyinatale bari asiatale.
I cannot give you the name,
the exact
amount. The exact number I have forgotten, but there were many. The reason was, at that time, I did not take the local herbs. It was just Western medicine I took.
Can you tell the commission what was your reaction when you found the said bottles at the office?
Itena taje nyadile brio kabolu tara wo office kono je akitefe nyadile
wato na then coordinator ka fire Rose Claire Charles UN volunteer alum.
At the time, our then coordinator called Rose Claire Charles, who was a UN volunteer.
Wole aitalina ko nyimboro lunka nyimboro du ako HIV borol.
I asked her, what are these concoctions for? And she said they are for HIV medicines. I asked her who brought them. And she said, the person said that they should not be mentioned, their name should not be mentioned. I said to her, but you know that I don't take local herbs. And she said, yes, I am aware. It is not for you, but for others.
Mr. Witness, at this point, did she indicate where the bottles came from?
I am a Koikani Musome na kumovem fire foleba nyin kabulu botadame.
On that very day, she did not say.
But kabiringa treatment in Kumas 2007 la nata itanina jumale fon yin borol sambana.
But it was after we started the treatment in 2007 that she revealed to me who actually brought these herbs.
Further, in your statement, you confirmed that certain individuals did actually consume these herbal medication that was in the bottles. Is that correct?
Foko ela statement kumasafero nyintoko. Bari modolu bali konoje meni ya lonko wolu sonta ye boro nyin damuta ye batakang yo fela kumakao nyinkono.
Ha ngawofo.
Yes, I stated that.
Are you able to tell this commission the effect that it had on them?
Pesa fono commission e biri wol yo boro ta damuta. Foi la cross roto ay kenyadi la ay mune falingi bala.
Nte koni bayri amankente la silati.
It's not my way.
So mane yininka boro nyin fo ay nafa soto e fo ama nafa soto e mawo yininka.
I did not get to ask them whether the medicine was good for them or not.
Is it correct to say that you're telling this commission that you yourself did not consume this said herbal medication at that time?
Amunta be nyina fokan commission ko ite fongo kun wotembo e manyim boro manum fereng.
Fereng mama because janni wo boro le na doctor ole en kansul ko tibabu jaralo silo ni mofin jaralo silo bukatano nyola.
Never, because before the herbal medicines came, I was advised by the doctors that the herbal medicines and the Western medication does not go in line. Because most of the herbal medicines cause diarrhea. And diarrhea is not compatible with HIV. It aggravates HIV and also can make you sick to the extent that it might cost you your life. That was why I did not take the herbal medicines, only the Western medicine.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. So at some point you had started telling the commission that the first time you heard about the treatment was sometime in 2007. Officially.
Inumbara sedo bari yenyim commission ko wato men ite fango ko ya damuta pour kanyim borota 2007 sankonolem.
Yes.
And that you heard the broadcast on the radio and television.
And wotumo ya amwele iba fokan television aning radio to.
Nkonu mamo announce ni mamo radio today.
I said earlier that I did not hear the announcement over radio.
So mandale nata office auto.
I came to the office in the morning. I found Rose and some of our members standing at the door, and they were waiting for me. When I came in,
Mr. Witness, can you tell the commission how many members you found standing with Rose?
At the time, there were 4 members, and I was the 5th.
You may continue to tell the commission what happened when you met them at the office.
Rose told me that they were waiting for me. That she got a telephone call from the office of the president.
Vice President office
through the vice president's office.
Then call.
And they called her.
And
they told her that the president said that he's got medication for HIV, to cure HIV.
Mr. Witness, can you tell this commission the name of the said president you're referring to?
President
President Yaya Jammeh.
President Yaya Jammeh.
I need to know.
Sorry, 1 minute, Mr. Witness. You also stated that you were told that the vice president made the call.
Vice President le commander
that was what Rose told me.
Can you tell this commission the name of the then vice president you're referring to?
Vice President
Then Vice President Aissatou Njai Sedi.
Then Vice President Aissatou Njai Sedi.
Thank you for clarifying that. You can continue.
Inumbara yenyindinkira sene ande bake sis continue no saying.
Bitung kabiri Rosia itandina ko president kwa HIV kendi andir lamburo so wolu na yenta la jaralo kumasila adu alafta mo tandela kebo sante yalla.
So when Rose told me that the president said that he had a cure for HIV and AIDS, he said that was the day that he was to start the treatment program and that he needed 10 members from Santayala.
Bitung kabira ofudro hakilo siata.
So when he said that, I had so many thoughts in my mind. Because at that time, I never take herbal medicines But when she said that, I had so many thoughts in my mind. I said, well, I was not ready to partake in it. But since the president knows me personally,
annual HIV/AIDS Council's meeting
because there was a time we used to hold our annual HIV/AIDS Council meeting inside his office.
I am found because the community represent in that meeting.
And during those meetings, he came to know me personally because I used to represent our community in those meetings.
So in silata ko ni manda bulandi ni molu kono mumbe bulana kafoto katala jara loto.
I was scared that if I did not partake in the people who were going for the treatment program,
because
at that time, whatever he said stood, and if you deny these orders, you could be in trouble. That was the reason why I joined the treatment program. And also, I believed that
banko be nyatonko president lota announce junior be nyatko ay jara lonso HIV la asa jara no la kenyandi.
If the head of state, who is the leader of everybody in the country, should come out publicly and declare that he has a cure for HIV/AIDS to the hearing of the whole world, that gave me the confidence, and I said, this could be true. It could be that he has the cure for it.
Because in kanyi moinu manding kolu kafuko boroli mofin boroli bijele muni alonko aka ni coming ake yelo kono kule ninkuran kesol bije akia senandi.
I used to hear the Mandinkas say that there are some herbal medicines which, when you drink them, it used to cleanse your blood, and even if you have some viruses, it will cleanse those viruses.
HIV status declare.
All of these things were the reason why I declared my HIV status. So that I could access all those treatments.
So, Mr. Witness, you're telling this commission that the reason why you joined the said program is because you were already identified by the then President Yahya Jammeh as a person living with HIV/AIDS.
Yes.
And that further you believe that for a president to make such an announcement,
and inata lanyi nako banko president huwe wulika law ka nyimfo
he must have found some sort of cure for HIV/AIDS.
Woto ilata la ko woto e tonya woto ay boro soto le membe nying HIV/AIDS jarala.
Yes.
Can you tell the commission at this time your health condition?
Wotembo afu commission e itele jata kendea abe tembe da jumal to ete fangfe.
That time, my health situation was fine.
2007.
Because before his treatment program in 2007,
Gambia antiretroviral drugs also in 2004-5.
Gambia got antiretroviral drugs in 2004-5.
Drugs will start MRC.
We started those drugs at the MRC.
Karuoro kata viral testing la.
And for every 6 months, we used to go there for a viral test.
Kono test kaitandi HIV jani bena test la kurankeso jelebe kono.
At that time, the test will show the viral load before you came for the test.
Ani ne buro min fo nyato fanang akaitandi la fo kurankeso talatale wala kafutale.
And when you drink the medication for some time, it will also indicate whether there is an improvement or not.
Kabiringa start 2004-5.
When we started in 2004-5, in the course of that time, my viral load went down.
Undetectable level.
There are many things one cannot say in public, but let me just say that my viral load went down to the level where it was declared as undetectable. Yes.
So therefore, it is correct to say that your condition was stable with the medicine that was given to you by MRC before you joined the program.
And mosinyim fono ko ila kolu tata le hanfo ay lodula kendo soto tenkunta ka borol minuta MRC janning yedum nyin ala atela mofin jara roto.
Ha.
Yes.
Mr. Witness, can you continue by telling this commission the procedure that was used for your admission into the said program?
Saying afonyin commission ye silo ta nyaadi le kam nimmule ke pour ke dundi itelaw jaral programme nyin kono.
Kabiri ka nkono ko nsilata pour ka ndabula ka fo nyin kono jaralo nyin kono.
I said earlier on that I was scared to join the treatment program.
War kote ke fanan nata jikko tumado askeno ala announce kamala afanan latal ko ay kendi ande launch to ala.
But I also thought to myself, I said, maybe, given that he has announced, he probably must have had a cure for it. That was why I joined.
State House.
On that very day, 2 vehicles, black in color, came from the State House. They came to pick us up. On that day, he requested 10 people, but we could not have the 10 people, but there were about 5 to 6 people. So we went.
Mr. Witness, out of these 5, can you tell this commission how many were female and how many were male?
For women, I was the only male amongst them.
Thank you. Continue to tell us what happened when the vehicles took you to State House.
Baraka, afonye birim motor yali futandi State House mune nata kije.
Kabirim futata State House Vice President then Aissatou Sedi.
When we got to the State House, the then Vice President Aissatou Sedi, she welcomed us.
Ani sojarolu
and soldiers.
Then Nathan Tamindi Dulado to a glass house.
Then they took us to a place they call Glass House. When we got there, we were seated. Then we were asked to wait for a while. It would not be long before the president came.
Mr. Witness, did you recognize or know any of the military personnel that escorted you?
Selo, council ko o sojarolu menu alni tata nyola fo molu be kono le bang yemenu sute.
Ninge je sañi se sute no bari wo wato la me tolong do be je ka fayle camera ngaw lone ke ko lo balama a jambata fana.
If I saw them now, I'll be able to recognize them. But at the time, I did not know them. There was one man called Kamara. He's a tall, fair in complexion guy.
You may continue.
Natalo do fam be mbulu jan sojaro do bija natalo bije.
I have a photograph here, one of the soldiers there.
Kabring Vice President ni syndicate and ko nyado mandim president bena.
When the Vice President sat us down and informed us that not long after the President will come.
Bije President Faunata.
We were there. After a while, the President himself came.
So anata aitandi ko alafta kala jaralo nyin kumasi.
And he revealed that he wanted to begin his treatment program.
O jaralo kono wokono fana.
And in that time,
kabirin komun ko iko ya fonun television otole.
Since it was announced over television,
the first badge
kata
Santayala member lelti.
We are members of the Santayala
and Ngania killing.
Because at the time, those were the 2 associations in the Gambia that were known.
Aning Alatentu.
And Alatentu.
Aning Lilai.
And Lilai.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, Kabering.
So, Mr. Witness, at this point, were you giving any briefing as to how the treatment was going to be carried on?
Intembeng selo folum yali kachandile ka fali jararoni nyanta tala nyadile abisila jumale tala foyo fali na ba.
O tembola o manfo.
At the time, such was not said.
O kabiringa jararo kumasile.
Until when we started the treatment program.
kabiri mbota ngajara borol mingol parendi State House.
After we drank the concoctions and the herbal concoctions and we are ready at the State House,
Inatambulandi boso kono kan sambana nyi Serekunda o Kanifing Hospital, General Hospital.
we were made to board a bus and then we were driven to the Serekunda Hospital.
Otumo Kanifing Hospital nyi apreta dokula le barbutunga mang jaral doku kumase folon tole keta mo fololti kalaji.
At the time, the Kanifing Hospital was fully the construction was complete, but there was no treatment being carried out there. We were the first patients to be hosted there.
Mr. Witness, can you explain to the Commission so we understand? You said there was no debriefing about the treatment.
Foi sinyum fono commission iko kachaman kije kaitan dialla ko nyinjara rombe nyin sila kar letala be kelaten fem man foali
Kabirin ko fo kabirin bormi kumasi banjulum pareta.
That is what I'm saying. After we started drinking the herbal medicine in Banjul and we were done,
Yembulandi boso kono sambana loptano to Kanifing jang.
they made us to board a vehicle and they brought us to the hospital here in Kanifing.
Yele to ularo president fa nata nala modolu.
It was there in the evening that the president himself came and some of his people.
Sorry, Mr. Witness, just to be clear, you're telling this Commission that you were taken from Santayala to State House. Is that correct?
ako silang alafta nyine lonna to yali bondi Santayala yali samba State House.
Yes.
When you got to State House, the only thing you were told was that there's a presidential treatment that is going to happen.
Ye mem fali bilal flata State House wala nyindi ko president anyan abejara ro kumasi la tella.
Yes.
Can you tell the Commission what exactly happened after that information was given to you?
Sa en kolu nata la nyaadi le kabula nyonoma mun nimune keta bringo kuma
O kono lo president on ala modol tambita glass house nyin kono.
It was during that time that the president and some of his people passed the glass house.
Mr. Witness, can you tell this Commission where the glass house is located?
Sa en selo afonyin commission yo glass house wo weri bungu abbe mintole.
Abe State House bada mafan wala le.
It's at the seaside end of the State House.
So continue to tell the Commission what happened when you were escorted to the glass house.
Sa en continue ya fonyin biri yali samba wo weri bungu to glass house mune nata keje.
O werbu to.
Sorry, Mr. Witness, before we even get to that point, were you the only one who was escorted to the glass house?
Haketo janimbe tentenna iyete damman ne samba wo bungu to bang wo weri bungu to bang fo.
O werbu to nka kilin dunjele.
We got to the glass house one at a time.
Ntele follow commandita.
I was the first to be called.
Ye samba bungu nyin kono.
They took me inside the building.
Na president unin dol tara sirinje.
I found the president and others seated with their herbal medicines.
Butung kabirum futata.
So when I got there,
Genyo konton.
we greeted each other.
O anata ala borol bondi ke dinna.
Then he removed his herbal medicines and gave them to me.
Mr. Witness, did you recognize any of the other persons who were present in the said glass house with the president?
Selo fo president ni wo molu men bebe siringo weri bungu nyin kono. Fo mo be kono le ete men sute no ikono.
Doctor la Carola, follow doctor follow moon tartan kunaje olom Dr. Njaiti, then Fanamu Minister of Health let.
On the side of the doctors, the doctor who was overseeing the whole issue was Dr. Njai, and at the time he was the Minister of Health.
And in Cuban doctor Olu.
And the Cuban doctors.
And in nurses.
And nurses.
But you be my long.
But I do not know all of these people.
Yeah.
Thank you. So still at this point, were you given any sort of briefing as to how the treatment was going to be administered on you?
Inumbara, halimbi, wotembo dung, fo, wo bebe kela tumena fo, jani wo bekela iye kuma fo yene ka fo nyinjaro lomba tamandi la tenne, fo fem fo eleba.
Wolu wodula fonto amam fonye, anata fonye akolale.
At that instant, they did not tell me. I was told subsequently.
At any time between you being moved from the main State House to the glass house,
Wato me yali bondi State House la dinkirato kali sambo weru bungoto.
Were you asked to give consent to actually receive this treatment?
Fodo ye nginin kala fobe la filale puru kadu nyin jaral programme o kono bang.
Ani imanyininka.
No, I was not asked.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. At this point, continue to tell us how the treatment was administered on you.
Inumbara tenten silang ya fonyem bitung jara ronyin datita nyamin ka tenten.
Oh, kabrindunta glass house in kono.
When I got inside the glass house,
No president ni Dr. Dol ni nosul taraji.
and I found the president, the doctor, and these other nurses.
Butu wo kola le adantala jara lonin kumasi ka boru jio ni follow dinna.
It was after that he started the treatment program by giving me the concoction, the herbal concoction.
A goblet ba fandi boru jio la.
He will fill a cup of this medicine.
Aya dinna ko ngamin.
He'll give it to me and ask me to drink it.
Kabiri ngamin fom pareta.
After I drank it,
Ye tawelo dinna.
they gave me a towel.
Ngura.
They asked me to undress,
Na dondiko ni kurtobo.
to remove my shirt and my trousers.
Ata doro solela.
I was left with my underwear,
Bari ye tawelo fanandi na purungam fan cover wala.
but they gave me a towel so that I could cover myself with it.
Kabiri pareta wala la rang shambana yella ndije.
After I was done doing that, they brought a bed and I lay on it.
Butung president han glofol dung astata ala mo fimbordol mulu ka musi balola.
Then the president put on his hand gloves and started rubbing some of the traditional medicines he had.
Ke musi mbalo bela.
And he rubbed it all over my body.
Balo belom han fo kata fo na private partol bekono.
He rubbed it over my entire body, including my private parts.
Yo na ate pareta wala no sul fanal nata ka a musi mbalo bela chew.
When he was done doing that, the nurses too came and they rubbed it over my entire body.
Kabirol fanal pareta le.
When they too were done,
Iko ngaji.
they asked me to climb down from the bed.
Kabirin jita.
When I climbed down,
So konte nga funting banta.
they asked me to go out
Do kumandina.
and they called another one.
Mr. Witness, at this point, can you describe for the commission the type of concoction that was given to you to drink on that said day?
Saying selo wo lungula ye menke ye minda ngokono puru ya ming. Fo isa fono nye mumbori fas abenyadi le boro nyin kalango benyadi le.
Boro yin kalon be ko boro a brown malam boro ji brown ringulem awuleta amawule.
It looks red, but it's not red. It looks brownish.
Yeah.
Mr. Witness, can you also tell this commission what type of cream was actually put all over your body, including your private parts?
Saying fo isi continue ya fo nyin komisonge. Yina ata boro memu ibalo mu me obela kata hanu fo nyato lubala. Fo wo boro fana ya abenyadi le.
Boro yin amulunta amentlat malom do.
It's like a mentholatum type of ointment.
Mosi abulo le la ke mosim fanam balok bela.
She will rub it around his hands and then rub his hands over my whole body.
Was there anything else that was administered or done by the said president during this first day of your admission?
Ulbe kola fo kudo fanan sotontala ay menke wo lungo menke ta wo lum folo ti lum men ayo jara ro folo.
Kudo manna koteke because kabirim pareta aya mo be kewo nyama.
Nothing happened after that. After he was ready, but after everybody had gone through this same process, that was when we came to the hospital here. When we came to the hospital, we were there until around about lunchtime.
Mr. Witness, before we get to that, can you tell this commission how you felt after drinking the said concoction?
Afonyem brio borijio ming kete bala nyadile keta nyadile
abirga borijio kumas mina dron.
Once I started drinking that herbal concoction,
mfunta bantambelo ring bedol batuka mul bedunkanje.
I went outside and I stood waiting for others who were going in.
Iba fola 15 minutes dron.
Within 15 minutes,
kono bayo start tan.
I developed diarrhea.
Can Can you also tell the Commission how the said balm that was rubbed all over your body made you feel?
Afo commission inata boro memu ibalo mu me obela wo fon fana ye bala jato ya aketa nyaadile.
Wala o watola mam fi kalam komu na insafu ko ay problem kenna.
At that time, I did not feel any adverse effects, such as to say it caused any problems on me.
Therefore, you've also said that from that point you were transported to the hospital in Kanifing.
So yenyum foko biriwo be botala lo mi natali bulandi moto kono kalnati lopitano to Kanifing.
Yes.
Can you tell this commission if you had any explanation given to you as to why you were being taken to the hospital?
Fodung inata femfali na fana munanna ibali sambala Kanifing lopitano.
Jeleto natalo kul bitala na inyamuna.
It was there that we came to know the way that things were panning.
Osa nata ularo.
Because he came in the evening.
Ay nata itandina jara ala jara lo bekela nyamuna.
And he informed us how his treatment program was going to, the fashion it was going to take.
Mr. Witness, can you tell this commission who you're referring to as coming in the evening?
Siedo afonyin commission e komennata uraro wala mjumati.
Ate president fon ya jamme.
The president, Jame himself.
Kabra nata ularo.
When he came in the evening,
Jeleto a sita mbe sita siran ulkono.
that was when we all sat on chairs.
Ay tandina ala jara lo sonta muna aning amanso munula.
And he informed us what is accepted and what is not accepted as far as his treatment program was concerned.
Aning jara lo be tembo muntala.
And also the time span that the treatment program was going to take.
Jeleto nte natalo mbe natalo ko ay ndolnga mernu ko mun ko bi dorono mbe borol min nala ngamuru soma falanga nana mbari woluna nata itandi ko moti tala dulato.
That was when we knew that we were going to be there for a while, because we had thought that we were just going to come, drink the medicine, return, and come back the following day.
Mr. Witness, can you tell the commission the rules that he gave you for his program?
Saying afonyin commission e siedo ay mun sarta façon no foalier pour atelawo borimingu ala jararo.
Ala saratul follow.
His first instruction,
Bayrim ala jaralo kumas.
since he has started his treatment,
Akotiba borol mununke min yante bulala manyani minna kotek.
he said the Western medicines that we used to take, we have to stop them and not to take them anymore.
Ako ni bala jaralo kono imang sembo sto kafunti fon kata banta.
He also said that if you are taking part in his treatment program, you don't have the powers or the privileges to go out on your own,
Sako kata suo kono.
especially going back to your home.
Ako domorte bola na moye nan sate kono kanantarandi jaral bundato je.
He said no food will come from the outside to anybody who is in the treatment program.
Ako ni kasika sabaye imanya na kasika saba.
He said if you smoked, you have to stop smoking.
Nika ataya min imanya na ataya minna.
And that if you drank green tea, you had to stop it.
Nika kuruo nyimi wala bitakola imanya na nyimila.
If you also chewed bitter cola or cola nuts, you had to stop it.
Nika coffee min wala tea Ovaltine nyinube imanya na imina.
Coffee, tea, and Ovaltine, all of them had to be stopped.
Ning atra inila musole bije Almanya na nyostola futugla karora la jaralo wato.
You were there with your wife during the course of the treatment program, you should not have any affairs.
So after giving you these rules, he also told you how long the program would last. Is that correct?
Fodung bring ay nying sartolu be fali anata fali ne bang program mo nyimbe wati jelle tala.
O fana man fonye ntarata jele dron fo insafo karuoro watola.
That was not said to us, but we were there until 6 months, I can say.
So, Mr. Witness, after when he gave you his rules,
Biraya alaw sartolu fali.
which seem many from what you have stated,
Me ya lonko kaya fote nyaming isiatale.
were you given the option to leave?
Fodung inata bunda ilali ne ko nimmel la fita bola ite sida bondiji.
And not submit yourself to the treatment?
Satara ite sida bondi nyin jara roto fo inata o silo di yalla le ba.
O silo mandin.
that opportunity was not given to us.
$10
Because it got to a stage where, at the time I was admitted at the hospital, I became tired of the medicines myself. Those who brought the medicines to me while I was at the hospital, I told them that if they went back, they should tell him that I want him to release me, that I wanted to go home. They told me, well, you will have to tell him yourself. We cannot tell him.
Sorry, Mr. Witness, just to go back a bit from what you have just told the commission. So we were at the point where you have said that you were now transported back to Serekunda Hospital. Sorry, the Kanifing Hospital.
Yes.
And at this point, you all were admitted into the said program.
Yes.
Can you tell the commission how the program continued?
After
he set out his instructions,
the
following day in the morning, the bus came to pick us again. At the time, there were some amongst us. Some had only HIV. Some had HIV and TB. All of us used to board the same vehicle to go to Banjul.
State House.
At the State House.
And
all of us used to board the same vehicle again to return from the State House to the hospital.
Sorry, Mr. Witness. Can you tell the commission at what time were you transported in the morning to State House, and what time would you usually leave State House to be transported back to the hospital?
What you malum tilokono ikali bondi lopitano to kali samba State House, aning what you malum ikali bondi nan State House kali saindi nan lopitano.
Itung abikela exactly wato mun komun fo talan selo mu wala talan konontolo mu nteo fonola.
I cannot give you the exact time to say 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
Barbutung somandale nkabo State House.
But it used to be in the morning when we would leave the hospital to go to the State House.
State House
when we get to the State House and we drink the medicine and he does whatever he wanted to do, then we will return back to the hospital. After we had our lunch in the evening, in the evening too, we will return. When we get there, after drinking the medicine, we used to stay there chatting with him, sometimes up till 11 or 12. After which, we'll board the bus again and return back to the hospital. This was what happened.
I won't ask you to tell the commission what you used to chat about.
But
just to make it clear, you were taken in the early hours of the morning, and then you were given the medication, and other treatment forms were administered on you. Then you would stay and have your food and wait till the evening, and where you would also drink again the said concoction and have other treatments administered on you, after which you shall be transported back to the Kanifing Hospital.
Yes.
Can you tell this commission how long this went on for before you were hospitalized?
For
a sickness that was not related to the HIV status.
kaburi ngaboro mi ukumase.
When I started drinking the medicine,
Lum follow munga kumasa e konobayo nyim kumasta wo lum faule.
the first day that we started, that was where I developed diarrhea.
Konobayo nyim continue ta fo ularo.
The diarrhea continued till the evening.
Abina stop la wato munna.
At the time that it was about to stop,
Muruta koteke State House.
we returned back to the State House again.
Me boro min koteke.
We drank the medicine again,
Konobayo continue ta wole nyama.
and the diarrhea continued like that.
Fo nga kari fula fo sabam bekeje.
Until I had 2 to 3 months there,
Nyim konobayo nene mallo.
this diarrhea never stopped.
Fo nala kachalu kono.
Even while we were discussing, chatting with him,
Aka nyininka kumola.
he used to ask me some questions.
Nimu ya jabi anyama.
Anyone that answered rightly,
Asekodo nankambonde ayatila.
he will take out a certain amount of money and dash you.
Okono anata nyininkaro keko amunali be kono bayo meta jumale lal bet.
He asked the question, amongst you, who suffered the longest diarrhea?
So I ngamulo ulin.
So I raised my hand up.
Nkombe de amula ko hani ite bulo jinni.
I wanted to speak, and he said, no, put down your hand.
Ay nyininkaro ko reke jumale alon.
And he asked again, who knows?
Na modo fulta ayen tofo.
One of us got up and mentioned my name,
Gosi be akalamta.
because all of them were aware.
Kaburi wo en tofo do.
After that person mentioned my name,
Nata kodo nankambondi ayadi wo marina.
he took out a certain amount of money and gave to that person.
O doronte.
That was not the only thing.
Kocha watol kono.
During the chatting periods,
Akakodo mabudula to kafunge nyini.
Sorry,
Okay.
Mr. Witness. So you're actually telling this commission that he celebrated the fact that you were having diarrhea for more than 3 months?
Men siata karisabati te kono be bay kanga munta ateyo ko kilimandile.
And he did this by actually giving out money to an individual who mentioned your name.
Andu ayo kenyadi le ay kodo di mole la me yete to foko ete la kono bayo meta dolu beti.
Ha.
yes.
Can you tell this commission how that made you feel?
Afono commission e biri wo keta o ite yo je nyadi le yata nyadi le.
Amanke wo nyini kar kan kilimu doronti de.
That was not the only question.
Wato dola ka kodolu mabo dulal to la yembe fundindi banta.
Sometimes you will hide money in a certain place, and all of us would be taken outside,
Se kodolu mabo dulal to.
and they will hide money in certain places.
Ena ya fonye nga nyini nimuye munje yeota.
And then they will ask us to go in and search so that anyone, whatever you found, would become yours.
Sorry, Mr. Chair. The witness has sometimes difficulty in hearing, so he's actually being assisted in the booth so that he'll understand the questions better. Mr. Witness, you've actually gone further to also tell us that he kind of played a game with you all.
Amunta sedo yenyum foloko. Amunta abe feya kanglele nyado nyama atelmu meulube.
Ha.
And
Yes.
that this game was that he would hide money and ask you all to seek for it.
Andu wo munyineti aka kodo mabodulal to aka fatele finti aleta o nyini.
Ha.
Yes.
Can you tell this commission how that made you feel?
Afo commission e silang wo beke kan nyamin ite yo ta nyadi le ila hadamayato yaje nyadi le.
O koni mbajelal kodoro komundo president lomu alafta hala kola nyamuna akake wala nyamu.
Well, the way I see things is that he was the president, and he did things just the way he liked them.
So you're therefore telling this commission that you were not only there for treatment,
Amunta benyine fo kan commission ko e mantara je jara rodam mankama.
but you were also there to play games
Amunta le bijele pro abe fair cool fanalu samba kan.
with the then head of state, Yaya Jammeh.
Aning ate memu banku nyaton koti wotumo yaya jamme.
Ate aje wala nyama.
Well, that was the way he saw things.
And at this point, you were actually very sick.
Adu ngotembo ite mankendea.
What mo kende abalia mang dunda bake.
At that time, the sickness was not very severe with me.
Mbe bambandi.
I was strong.
Because what follow la fam?
Because at the first time,
Ni nata somanda.
when we come in the morning, before we start drinking the medicines,
a sort of exercise like a march pass.
we used to have a sort of an exercise like a march pass.
Left and right, left and right.
I used to be the one telling people left and right, left and right.
For a distance,
we will go up to a distance, and then we will return. And then after that, we begin taking the medicines.
So witness, did the president join you in this ref light that you were doing?
Left, right, left, right.
No, he did not join us. It was only the patients.
Okay. So then you told us, though, in your testimony that you were hospitalized.
Yes.
Can you tell the commission why you were hospitalized?
Starta nyamuna niatara nganyoji karala insafo bari afo mulu kono because turakula woti o mu private something let.
Except if we had a private audience, I could tell you how it started because that is something that is secretive.
Because Kenya balia sifa dole mutaje.
I had a certain kind of sickness.
Yalo jara lo wato kono.
You know, during the course of the treatment,
weekend or like from Saturday, Friday.
During the weekends, like Friday,
up
till Sunday, we used to spend all of the time in Kanilai. It was during that time, in one of our trips, because this sickness, it used to disturb me from time to time, well before his treatment program. I used to treat it at the MRC.
Because doctor ya tandina o kende abalia muneka sabu.
Because the doctor told me what was responsible for that kind of sickness.
But
it is curable if you have the medication.
Mr. Witness, as you stated, I am aware of the sickness. If you may write it down on the information protective sheet and sign it.
Selo, council ko abota kurang kalamale ayalong baribitu isa safe kaito bala niya safe fokapare ya sign.
And just to move forward, it was due to that sickness.
And impurka tenteng was sasa le ya sabu,
which confused the said president, and he could not treat it. He had no option but to allow you to be taken out of the program. And hospitalized for treatment.
Yes. When that sickness started, it disturbed me a lot.
What be bolonan kanil like Kasena Serakunda?
That time when we left Kanilai, coming home to Serakunda,
Mbeka joined Boss or Lakana.
All of us used to board the bus to come.
Barulu Kende Abalia Sababo Kamala.
But that day, for the reason of that sickness, I was the only one put inside an ambulance, and I was driven all the way to Banjul to go to the military clinic, which is by the hospital there. That was where I was first admitted.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. So then, at this point, you were taken to the hospital by an ambulance and you were treated.
Inumbara sedo bitungo tembo ye tebulandi ambulance la ye samba lopitano to ye jara rokumas ye.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Go on.
I just wanted you to tell the commission after your treatment and you got better.
Left off
that said sickness, which is in the protective sheet.
lafta bitum birin ye samba loptano to ye jara foy fisiata wo sasa façon la ko nyin kamma.
Did you return back to the alternative treatment program?
Fokota ke imuru tele kadung atela jara ro kono bang.
Kabri yen samba nang soldiers clinic oto.
After I was taken to the military clinic, if I have not forgotten, I spent a week there.
A doctor from the teaching hospital.
But a doctor used to come from the teaching hospital. The doctor is called Dr. Njai. He was in a wheelchair.
Ole kanang attend at the soldiers clinic.
He usually came to attend to me at the military clinic.
So someone that killing anata I nako.
So one fine morning, he came and told me that that I have collected many of your samples, but your coughing sample has indicated that you have TB. It's not been in your system for a long time. But I want, before it becomes severe with you, I want to transfer you from this place to the main hospital,
private block,
where it's called, where they call private block, so that you could begin the treatment for the TB. That was where I was moved from the military clinic
Natata at the private block
and taken to the private block.
TB borol sotoje.
I accessed TB medication there.
Jele to fa kabrin na mol nata kana borol samba nyenko inal tata ya fire unteko lafta yambula lafta sela sokono.
It was there that my people came bringing the concoctions from him that I told them I want you to go and inform him that I want him to release me, that I wanted to go home. They told me that they will not be able to do that except if I did it myself. That was also when I stopped taking his medicines. That was where the diarrhea also stopped. But the TB was there.
And
the other pain I was talking to you about, that too stopped. Because I used Western medicines against it.
So within
that period, I can say within a week or two,
from the teaching hospital also in Sambas to the sanitarium.
They took me from the teaching hospital and took me to the sanitarium at a place they call Wencho. That was where my difficulties increased. Because at that time, I was unable to eat. Even to wash myself on my own, I could not. My younger brother or sister and my mom used to come to the hospital. My mom used to give me food and all the assistance I needed. My younger brother will pick me up from bed, take me to the bathroom, wash me, and bring me back. It went up to a certain stage where I was almost unable to walk on my own.
Then
I thought to myself and said, look, if you don't get up and try to walk around by your own, you'll remain in this state. When I got that thought in my mind, the following morning, I tried by myself to climb down the bed on my own. I tried until I stood on my own feet. But then walking became a big problem. Then I tried, after taking 1-2 steps, I would stand for a moment. I took it slowly like that until I got to the Wencho door. But between when I started and getting to the door, I relaxed several times.
Okono bundala je meta jonkotorinje.
At the door, I squatted there for a long time.
Mugulta koteke.
I got up again.
Nga domani koteke kamurun loptano to wencho.
I tried and walked slowly to get back to the hospital at Wencho.
Yo, luolun kawoke.
Every day I will do that.
Olun killing koteke nga funta wencho famu mele katani wencho komala.
Until one day I got out of Wencho itself and I walked around Wencho.
Fo akoba nata funti sateri do kanje.
Until I got to a small settlement.
Barjanimbe sate uninjela.
But before I saw this settlement,
nga susele folorje.
I first saw chicken.
Mfo yin susele wolu kamune keja.
I said to myself, what are these chickens doing here?
Atum malong nunko korda sate beje.
Because I did not know that there was a settlement there.
Ukola nata sewolu jifana.
Then I saw pigs.
Udumbe kontine kankata.
So I continued going.
Nata funti sateri unyimfonka.
Then I came into this small settlement itself.
Wencho koma je ba
behind Wencho there by the seaside. So I said to myself, behold, the settlement they talk about is this place. I saw people there. Then I came back. The following day, I continued that walking until I came to the Banjul Highway. And that was what I did every day until, by God's grace, this walking difficulty ceased.
Sorry, Mr. President. Thank you very much for that elaborate explanation. At this point, can you tell the Commission, when were you discharged? And further, after your discharge, did you go home or did you go back to the treatment?
Even before that, the sickness reduced my strength. It changed my outlook. Until one day I was lying on my bed.
TB doctor nata ward round up la.
The TB doctors came on their ward roundup.
Doctor Dobije Kafai, Dr. Jallo.
There was one particular doctor called Dr. Jallo. Tall, black guy.
And then ala assistant Kafo Dauda Sise.
And his assistant called Dauda Sise. I heard them speaking by the veranda outside. Because I noticed that some of the TB patients, the way that they coughed, I was not coughing like that. I said to myself, let me go out and ask these doctors if they could discharge me. I went out to them there at the veranda. We exchanged greetings. But because of my strength which was so diminished and my outlook which has changed completely, because of the sickness,
Dr. Jallo
he knew me. Dauda too knew me. But on that particular day, they could not recognize me. Even while I was speaking, I suspected that these people do not recognize me. I said, doctor, and he said, yes. I said to him, it looks like as if you do not recognize me. He said, no. Who are you? When I told him who I was, he sprang on me and said, oh, and called me.
So I embraced.
Then he embraced me. And then he held me. And he said to me, it looked like you are sick. That was why I could not recognize you. After that,
na taitandala ko nka dolje ka toto nyamu na ntebu ka toto nyama ngaji ko dal na TV among sembo stombala kote ke back.
that was when I told him that I have realized that the manner in which some of the TB patients cough, I do not cough like that, and I believe that my situation is not as severe.
Wo kono fang.
Even in that,
Nkafunyo malu mulu kanan jube.
my colleagues who usually came to visit me,
Donatan jibe.
one of them came to visit me.
Olunga kumbota.
That day, the individual cried.
Ko kari be kumbola isile natante min jube mtebe kala nyadile.
I said to the person, you are crying. What about me that you have come to visit me? What will I do?
Ako ha ni ajembe kumbola.
And the person said, yes, the reason why I'm crying,
Akonye wati sota mobe ka fu ikende atole.
there was a time when everyone used to tell you that you are cured
Because ila health be nyamuna wo watu.
because of the state of your health at the time.
Anim binke be nyamuna wo fatata back.
And today, the way I am looking at you, the two states are completely different.
Akonye mura mune fon yote bula nyintu.
And he said to me, what got you into this?
Yin be katale.
All of these things happened.
Bar kabirin ko doctor ko
But when I said to the doctor,
na TB ngamura man sembo stombala koteke.
I think my TB is not very severe with me anymore.
Doctor ko bo atike no la wo nyama ni murunta.
Doctor said, well, it cannot just happen like that. When I return,
So man be no so kile na mpura ni la sputum test ta koteke.
we will send a nurse tomorrow so that she could take your spittle for test.
Keta like arabole
That happened on a Wednesday.
o tata
He went.
arba aramisa arajmu somanda
Thursday, Friday in the morning,
e murtana kotenke.
they returned again.
Doctor ya itanno ko na TB sanya be tembo munto among fenke bake among sangara bake.
The doctor informed me that at this stage my TB was not very severe
Asembo betala kam bakele.
and that it was reducing a lot in strength.
So kamala
And for that reason,
wolu
on that very day,
ben discharge lale
they were going to discharge me,
bari mbe continue la na TB boro lalde
but I will continue taking my TB medication.
o kamala na TB boro supply o
For that reason, my TB supplies, medical supplies,
nyanta kata Serekunda Health Center le
I have to go to the Trrc Health Center
kata na boro taje
to get them from there.
ni bina ban na doron kata na supply dota.
And each time they are about to be finished, I should return there and collect more.
Yo kabiru oketa
So after that,
yen discharge
I was discharged.
so ngana office call
I called my office.
na driver ning na program officer nata
My driver and our program officer came.
pour kanan kama
They came to pick me up.
iko iben sambala sokono
They said that they were going to take me home.
ko hani
I said to them, no,
o nyimman discharge
because this guy has not discharged me.
so talin samba Serekunda Hospital
So therefore, take me to the Trrc Hospital.
jele to yen samba jeto.
That was where they took me to.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. So you're telling this commission that you felt because you were not discharged by the then President Yahya Jammeh, from the treatment program, you had to return.
Yes.
Why did you feel the need that you had to return?
ngaje ko ni murtam fon e mansara
I saw to it that if I returned home on my own without announcing it to him,
asta kudo sinna
it could bring other complications for me.
wala tinan ko yen samba loptano.
That was the reason why I told them to take me back to the hospital.
Apart from yourself, was any other family member of yours admitted into this program?
Ite kungo kola ila dimbaya badi ngulukono fomo sotontale mang bang ye mendundi nyim programme kono
Nta farbansi la jang
I will not say it here,
bare namo do fana mu yalo nga close tanale
but there's also someone who is very close to me.
nga kata pour ko fonan kafundi jara loñin kono.
I tried to bring that person into the treatment program
Because ngaje ko mu njikita ko nin kende ata.
because I saw to it that with the belief that if I got well,
Nin ko man kende ya.
if that person is not well,
Ora munta ko mfam man kende ya.
it would be as if I myself am not well.
So ngo fonan bulandina kafo ñin kono.
So I took that person into this association,
O kanyanta second badge le fe.
and that person came in the second batch.
Can you tell this commission the effects the treatment have had on that person that you brought into the program?
Afonyin commission biriyo mari fanandundi nyin jararo kono. A jararo nyi mun kule sababu wo mari fanfanam.
Akole ako.
Hardship.
Kadu kabri yente landi mbe wencho.
Because when I was at the venture,
Nin kanyi mu fanan fote.
this individual that I'm referring to,
O fanan nata kurang.
that person too got ill
Woso watola.
because at the time,
Ala jara lokono.
during the course of his treatment,
Jamale kuranta je kotek.
many people got sick there.
But ni ben hospitalized la.
But when we are being hospitalized,
Dulabe loptano to Banjul.
in all the places in the hospital in Banjul,
Ward olomi ka fire cell ward.
there's a ward they call cell ward.
Ikantul PLHIV will admit wo ward odorna kono.
That was where they put us people living with HIV and AIDS.
Yo na inkanyi mu fodenting kabura sa afanan sasata.
And this individual I'm talking about, when the individual also got sick,
Nata fanal landi wo loptan o ward toje.
that was where they took the person to that ward.
Ari iko ko.
But they said that,
Doctor ko.
the doctor said that
Community la health condition be nyamun na.
because of the state of my health condition,
Ikana na wo mola kende abalia fonye.
that they should not tell me the sickness of that close relative of mine.
Kata skeno ni o fonye na condition o shina was kotake.
Because if they told me, that could worsen my condition.
Fombe wencho lunkiling.
One day, as I was in Wenjo,
O kafunyo mun kafoten.
this close guy that I was talking to you about,
Abadi muso do nata kaita nako nyine caring.
the sister came to tell me that this was what was happening.
Oko ya fanan landile loptano to. But doctor ko ikana fo nyin kamolante betembo muntu.
She said that that person too is at the hospital, but that the doctor said that I should not be informed lest it increases my sickness.
O ko nyin ko katu ntenga jubele abetiata ya kalamta wonyam.
She said to me, I have figured it out that it is good that you get to know.
Nkata kata fanan jibe loptano toje.
So I used to go and visit that person at the hospital there.
Rolung killing.
Until one day,
O wodo kono.
inside the ward,
Mulka killing fa.
people were dying one at a time,
Fo atute mo fulale labu wodo nyim fatale no.
until only 2 individuals were left when the ward was full.
Mr. Witness, can you clarify for this commission?
Sedo aseneyandi nyin commission ma.
You mentioned earlier that a lot of people that were admitted in the program got sick.
Nyin foko mo jama menu dunta wo programo kono inata kura.
Ha.
Yes.
Are you telling this commission that they got sick because of the herbal treatment they were receiving?
Amunta ila o kurango asababo keta wo mboro leti be memminka numbang.
Naji ko keta woletide.
That is my belief.
Are you also telling this commission that most of these people that got sick were hospitalized in this cell ward?
Yenyum foko mo jamalu menu kuranta wonya ye fanalu be landi wo cell ward kilingole kono.
Ha.
Yes.
And you were just telling this commission that a lot of people in that cell ward died.
Lui benyum foka nga mamme sayem fanko mo jamalu wo dinkira fatal numbari mo jamana ta soto menu fata wo ward kono je.
Ha.
Yes.
Can you continue to tell the commission why you think they died?
Saying continue
ward.
ya fo moli itela miro to munan na wulu fata wulu meni ye landi wo cell ward kono.
Naji ko to.
In my belief,
Comme natibawa jaralo silo mu ngabula.
Because maybe the Western medication which we had abandoned, stopped taking.
Because doctor ole ni itandi ko ni antiretroviral drug holol.
The doctors told us that these are antiretroviral drugs.
Nika minga nyama.
If you take them the way you are supposed to, it will reduce the strength of the virus in you.
But the moment
you stop it also, until for a considerable time, it worsens the virus in your system again. And that turns out to be a greater sickness for some people. That could also be the cause of their death.
So you're therefore telling this commission that most of the people that were admitted in the said alternative program
were
in a state of health that was stable,
but
their conditions worsened during the program.
Yes.
Which even caused a lot of people to die.
Yes.
Mr. Witness, at some point, if you do remember any of those names of the people that died, we would like you to write it down on a piece of paper and sign it.
Because
I would not be able to recall all of their names since we were not in the same association. But this close individual that I was talking to about, I do not want to reveal things just like that. Because maybe his relatives wouldn't want things in that way. But that individual got sick so much in that ward where people were dying one at a time. There was only that person left and one other patient who was Fulani and that patient's caretaker. I came there again. He said to me, "Do you see these empty beds?" And I said to him, "Yes." He said to me, "All of the occupants of these beds are dead." He said to me, "Even this fuller person that I'm left with here, and the carer here, all of them ran away. So I also want to run away with my mom." I said, "Well, if you should do that, it could bring a lot of complications for me. Because the president knows me personally. And if he gets to hear that my relative was the one that ran away, but at that time we were discharged. I told him, just persevere here until that day when you too would be discharged. But before they were discharged,
around 12.
One day I was home around 12. His mother called me on the telephone. She was crying. And then she revealed to me that he had died. That was in August. Myself,
discharged in July.
We were discharged in July. Yes.
Mr. Witness, apart from the patients that were admitted at the Banjul Hospital, RVTH,
uwo molu kola ye menu landi Banjul loptano to memu Banjul loptani banyindi.
Who you've told this commission that eventually died. Were there any other patient that died at the Kanifing Hospital during the program that you know of?
Because,
yes.
Most of our
Amongst ourselves, 3 people were there.
because HIV la cool mansonia.
You know, the issue of HIV and AIDS is not easy.
After those for AIDS free world.
There was an organization called AIDS Free World.
O nata Kenya makwela bati.
They eventually became they became a big helpers to us.
Fo nata etin ko nyanta kakafo mu mulu ale tanka imam fa jara loni kono provinces ikafundino nyola ngake kafoti nyinkamale sela demarlo continent no nyamu na nye.
They even suggested to us to establish an association of survivors of the treatment who did not die, so that we could access assistance from them. During the course of the time,
during the program,
those people that died during the course of the program, these 3 individuals who are from our people, and others, we reflected our minds to them to remember them. And we wrote down their names. There were about 8 to 10 people who died during the course of the treatment program. Those names written down are with me. It's not with me personally.
The survivors of the treatment, presidential alternative treatment program.
But this association that I told you we were on the verge of setting, which is survivors of the president's alternative treatment program.
During the treatment program.
We have this number of people who died during the course of the treatment program.
After the treatment program.
And also many others died subsequently. Because during the course of the treatment, they told us that some of us were cured. Some of those individuals did not return, continued taking their Western medicines, and that eventually caused their death. That is the way it is.
Mr. Witness, can you recall about how many people died due to this treatment, whether it was during the treatment or after the treatment?
Selo foi hakilo sibulano mo nangamo memfata jararo wuchew nyin kono bang anin hani jararo nyin kola ko ya foten sai mo nangamo memfata foi hakilo sibulano la ba
nga hakilo murundi koma.
If I can reflect a little bit,
2006
in 2006
National Youth Council,
the National Youth Council,
office.
I forgot the title of the book, but it is in my office.
In 2006,
it is written in that book, which states that in 2006, that there were 24,000 people in this country who had the disease. But after that, until the president's treatment program started, I cannot say that all of them died as a result of his treatment program. But I can say that close to 4,000 individuals died.
The World AIDS Day Forum 2017.
Because the World AIDS Day Forum in 2017, 17-18,
National AIDS Secretariat tandi HIV bala Gambia was 20,000.
National AIDS Secretariat revealed the number of people who had HIV in the Gambia were 20,000.
2006 kafuko 24,000, Sani kafu 20,000, meaning ko 4,000 on be fatale. But no kofo a beketa jara loni sababol.
This is why I said if in 2006 it was announced or written down that there were 24,000 people with HIV and AIDS, and now in 2017-18 it is now 20,000, I take it that the 4,000 other individuals must have died. But what I cannot say categorically is that all of them died as a result of the president's alternative treatment program. But I do know that many died as a result of the president's treatment program. Because the president's treatment program is responsible for us having to tackle many difficulties in our life. After his treatment program,
or like
during the time of the treatment,
even
MRC, where people used to access Western medicine, since the president announced himself that he could cure HIV, that was the reason why MRC left the issue of HIV completely. They took their hands off HIV in the country. And all their equipments they use,
viral load machines,
their viral load machines, they left with all of them.
In 2010-11,
since 2010-11, MRC took off its hands completely from Gambia's HIV/AIDS program. That resulted in the fact that since that time up till date,
viral load machine
the viral load which shows or indicates the level of your virus in your system is not in this country.
Just a point of correction. I think he said the machine does not exist anymore.
Yeah. Thank you.
You may continue.
Okay. Viral load machine because MRC wato munna.
The time that we were at the MRC, every 6 months,
viral load test
you would go for a viral load test. To ascertain whether you were drinking your medicines as prescribed or not, because the machine usually will indicate this. Whether your viral load was high going up or down, the machine too will show this.
But comme president ko as HIV kenden no le woyatna MRC ada bondi ni la machine be.
But since the president said that he could cure HIV, MRC took off their hands and took their machines away.
O kamala kebo 2010-11.
For that reason, from 2010 to 11,
fokana bila
up till this date,
nte
myself
and
others, those of us who usually knew our viral load,
for 2010-11
since 2010-11, this period I'm talking to you, up till this, none of us is able to know our viral loads.
CD4 count machine
all we have here is the CD4 count machines.
CD4 test.
And when we are tested, it's only our CD4 count that is tested.
But viral load machine
But the viral load machine is not in existence.
And
that is what used to indicate and show whether you are taking your medication the right way or not. But since those machines are not here, those of us who were in the system for a long time, we say that even we do not know the state of our viral load, but if you drank your medication as prescribed, it will use to weaken the strength of the virus in your system. So therefore, let's just continue drinking our medication as prescribed. That was a difficulty for us. Up till date. That is what existed. The hospitals have the CD4 count machines.
Bari viral load machine wo manshur ikafola abijane dol safu ka be koture the laboratory in kotu idol ka fa abije but woto tolka test munke CD4 count test drone ka wolek.
There is no viral load machine in this country. Some say it's at the Koto laboratory, but it is not there. The only test that we have and the only machines that are here is the CD4 count machines.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness, for that. Mr. Chair, I think it's time for the second break, if we may, with your permission.
Thank you very much, Emma Council. Executive Secretary, you have a point of order to raise, or an issue to raise?
We've noticed that there are some people in the hall who are not wearing masks, including, unfortunately, some of our medics and our security. And the journalists, please ensure that you wear your mask before you come back in here. Okay, please, just to help us to adhere to the guidelines. All right? Thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. We'll take a 1-hour lunch break and come back at 2:35. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.